Alrighty. Probably should zoom in a little bit. Anywho, right. Anyway, this is Musk, Elon Musk, SpaceX, launched his Starship today on the Booster 7, okay? And it blew up, but that's fine. There's no issue with that. Anyway, like Musk said, Elon said that if it clears the tower, he would consider that a positive. Okay? So it cleared the tower. It was fucking awesome. I gotta be honest with you. You know, I seen the space shuttle take off, you know, quite a few years ago. And, you know, that was pretty sweet. You know, I actually got in the NASA down there. Now they charge you, right? Anything to make money. But anyway, that was pretty sweet. But his Starship on top of that Booster 7 is the largest rocket on Earth, okay? That's ever been built, ever been launched. Even bigger than NASA's Boeing combination, Lockheed, whoever's working on the SLS, that's way overly priced. But anyway, that's not what this is about. Anyway, it took off, awesome. Three engines didn't ignite on takeoff. But Elon has enough backup engines. There's 33 engines on the booster. So he can lose a certain amount of engines and not sweat it. So 3 of them didn't ignite at launch, okay? But anyway, took off 4 minutes, okay? And during the flight, during that 4 minutes, 3 more boosters, engines, dropped out. Okay, not the booster. 3 more engines quit working. Okay, which, no big deal. That's why he's got 33 engines on that puppy. So anyway, oh, let me show you my shirt. Kitty. So anyway, it was awesome. You know, I gotta be honest, that was awesome. So anyway, 4 minutes into flight, when it takes off, it kind of arcs a little bit, and then it does a roll or flip, whatever you want to call it, as it's going up. Before the Starship separates from the booster, it basically doesn't quite go fully horizontal, but anyway, it starts to tip horizontally. And then that's when the booster separates from the Starship, and then the Starship engines fire, and that takes it out into space. I mean, it was up there, okay? I don't remember what the altitude is because they do it in the metric bullshit because he's from Africa. And, but anyway, so they use metric. So anyway, it was way the hell up there. So anyway, 4 minutes into launch, it did its maneuver. I mean, I knew something was wrong probably, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds before it blew up. I knew there was an issue. I could tell by the way the rocket was acting. The booster, I was like, yeah, it's not going to make it. Something's wrong. So anyway, when it did its number like that, and it did like the maneuver like it's supposed to, then the engines on the booster were supposed to cut off, and then the Starship would separate, its engines would launch and carry it into orbit. Well, something happened because as it went like that, all of a sudden it kept going. So it started to roll. So the Starship didn't separate. So anyway, roughly 4 minutes, I'm going to put, the video is going to be on here. Roughly 4 minutes into the launch, they had an unscheduled rapid disassembly. Okay? Not an explosion. It's a rapid disassembly. Unscheduled rapid disassembly is what he calls it. But anyway, it was a win. And a lot of the, you know, news is like, oh, his Starship blew up or his booster blew up. Oh, it's a flop, blah, 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 blah. It's experimental. He blew up numerous Starships before he was able to get that to land. So anyway, it blew up. Would have been nice to make it to orbit. Would have been nice to pull it, you know, for them to separate, but it didn't happen. Either way, it's a win because the amount of data that they got off of that first test flight is just enormous because Elon puts sensors all over the ship. He has cameras all over the ship. He has cameras that are in between the two ships in the Starship, shooting at the engine so they can see what happens. So I would say within a few days he'll know exactly what went wrong. So it'll be another few months before he launches again. But anyway, the ship is experimental. It would have been like almost a miracle if it would have made it all the way to orbit, if everything would have went fine, because it's experimental. So anyway, the loss of it, fine. He figured he had a 50-50 chance of it making orbit, and it didn't. It blew up. No, it didn't blow up. It was an unscheduled rapid disassembly. So anyway, it was awesome. So I'm going to show just as the engines fire up until it disassembles itself. That's the part of the footage. You know, I'm not going to show all the rest of it because it fueling and all that. I'm not going to show that. But anyway, it was awesome. So anyway, if you want to subscribe, hit the little B in the bottom right hand corner. Let you know, hit the little notification bell, let you know every time I upload another video. I'm up to 175, 76 subscribers. Need 1,000 to make money. Never happened. I'm too old for that. And I've got like 97,000 views. So anyway, I just appreciate everybody watching and enjoy. This is friggin' awesome.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 8. Booster upper chamber pressure is nominal.
T+43 seconds into the test flight of the inaugural Starship vehicle. Tower cleared, we're into pitch over. Propulsion reports first stage engines nominal. What a sight from the ground cameras at Starbase. We're flying at twice the thrust of a Saturn V heading to space.
Acquisition of signal, Corpus Christi.
We're throttled down and throttled back up. Going through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. As the velocity increases, the density of the atmosphere is decreasing.
Max Q.
Lessening stress on the vehicle. The call out, max Q now. Continuing to watch the first stage as we head downrange. A 100 seconds into flight. Our next major activity is going to be shutdown of the first stage. The Houston tracking station now acquiring the vehicle. With shutdown, we will get separation of Starship from Super Heavy and ignition of the Starship engines. When Starship separates, we light up 6 engines in a staggered sequence. And if all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5 minutes. Onboard view from Starship. And there's views of the Raptor engines on the second stage as we prepare for stage separation. Now after stage separation, the first stage will flip and begin a boost back maneuver for landing in the Gulf. Continuing to fly, 2 minutes 40 seconds. Let's get ready for main engine cutoff.
Booster engine cutoff.
Beginning the flip for stage separation.
As of right now, we are awaiting stage separation, where Starship should separate from the Super Heavy booster.
Yeah, Kate, right now it looks like we saw the start of the flip, but obviously we're seeing from the ground cameras the entire Starship stack continuing to rotate. We should have had separation by now. Obviously, this is does not appear to be a nominal situation.
Yeah, it does appear to be spinning, but I do want to remind everyone that everything after clearing the tower was icing on the cake. As we promised, an exciting end to the Starship inaugural integrated test flight.
Everyone here absolutely pumped to clear the pad and make it this far into the test flight, the first integrated flight of the booster and the Starship vehicle.
Live view there of our control center at Starbase, which we refer to as Star Command. As we said before, obviously we wanted to make it all the way through, but to get this far, honestly, is amazing.
Well, if you're just joining us, Starship just experienced what we call a rapid unscheduled disassembly, or a RUD, during ascent. But now this was a development test. This is the first test flight of Starship, and the goal was to gather the data, and as we said, clear the pad and get ready to go again. So you never know exactly what's going to happen, but as we promised, excitement is guaranteed. And Starship gave us a rather spectacular end, what was truly an incredible test thus far.
As we mentioned at the start of today's program, any and all the data that we collected during the test is going to help us with further development of Starship, and it's going to improve the vehicle's reliability as SpaceX seeks to make life multiplanetary. It's really worth noting that the flight path was designed to be over water and all the air and sea space. Along with that flight path and those surrounding areas were cleared in advance of the test. And of course, we're going to be coordinating with local authorities for the recovery operations.
But honestly, what an exciting morning. Oh my gosh. We had a successful liftoff from Starbase, Texas at 8:28 a.m. Central Time. We cleared the tower, which honestly was our only hope. We cleared the tower, and all the data that we collected all the way through all those Raptor, those 33, although I think we saw that 3 Raptor engines were out, but we got all that data, and we got so far as to hoping to see the Starship, the second stage, separate from the first stage, the Super Heavy booster. And unfortunately, we didn't make that happen, but that's okay. It was the first integrated launch, and honestly, today was amazing.
Absolutely incredible day. We made it through a number of those initial test objectives with getting booster ascent, getting all the way through the countdown, working some issues at the end. Like, totally really fantastic day.
Got through the gate at T-minus 40 seconds on the second try. Everything released, the hold downs, the quick disconnect arms, everything moves out of the way. And then we got the vehicle off of the pad, through max Q, all the way up to stage separation, even starting into the prep for stage sep. And then, as we say, a lot of excitement.
Yep. Honestly, my face has had a smile on it since liftoff, and now my face hurts. Now, since we don't have any insights on the cause of our rapid unscheduled disassembly at this point, we're going to end our webcast here. Teams will continue to review the data and work toward our next flight test. But before we go, a big congrats to the entire SpaceX team on an exciting first integrated flight test of Starship. And of course, a shout out to our viewers. We appreciate you joining us. And as always, we thank you for your interest in Starship, SpaceX, and your ongoing support. Till next time.